Let's take a torch to woke hypocrisy, served up by Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty, the first LGBTQ XRSW prosecutor in her role, who's apparently decided that laws are optional, provided that you're a Trump-hating government stooge.
So diversion is accountability. The case was submitted to us by the police. We did not decline it. We looked at the case. What we really wanted was for the victims in that case to get restitution and for this person to be held accountable. We are accomplishing both of those by requiring him to go through a diversion program and to pay restitution to all 6 victims.
We're diving into how she's letting a deranged state employee skate by for vandalizing 666 Teslas, causing over $20,000 in damage, while of course throwing the book at others for far less. This is a masterclass in blue team bias, 2-tier justice, and I'm here to unmask this joker. Now, if I nail this, please smash that like button. In fact, it costs you nothing, so do so right now and drop me a comment to let me know your thoughts on the subject. Bryan Adams, a 33-year-old Minnesota State employee, was caught on camera keying 6 Teslas in Minneapolis, racking up $21,000 in damages. This wasn't a prank. It's domestic terrorism pure and simple. Why? Because Adams targeted Teslas, a company, of course, tied to Elon Musk, the founder, and Trump's right-hand man in the Doge crew, slashing government bloat that apparently these people take great offense to. The Justice Department, in fact, calls Tesla attacks domestic terrorism. They are defined that way, with 5 cases nationwide involving Molotov cocktails. Yet, Moriarty, the woke queen, Soros-supported and funded DA, says, nah, let's give this guy a diversion program. No charges, just a slap on the old wrist to keep his job and to pay restitution. Do you consider this justice? I certainly don't. What I think it is, it's a green light for anyone to terrorize someone who dares to support Team Trump. All to scare Musk's allies and to tank Tesla as a company that employs 125,000 Americans. In fairness, it is consistent with the outlined progressive priorities, right? Give him credit for consistency. Now, don't let Moriarty's sob story fool you. This is not a kid egging cars on Halloween night. Adams is a grown-ass man, a fiscal policy analyst for Minnesota's Department of Human Services, with a rap sheet of unhinged anti-Trump rants on X. This guy systemically hunted Teslas because Musk is a Trump ally. His boss, by the way, and the governor of the state, approve.
They've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping.
This was no spur-of-the-moment oopsie. It was a calculated vendetta by a government drone who believes that he just might be above the law, with an ally sitting in the role of prosecutor. Moriarty? She's practically knitting him a resist sweater, letting him waltz into a diversion program while Tesla owners quake as to who is next on the hit list to vandalize their means of transportation. If this guy is not a poster child for blue team privilege, I want to know who is. Now, let's talk about Moriarty's pathetic penalty administered to this vandal. Adams has to pay restitution, about $21,000, as I previously mentioned, to cover the scratches that he carved into 6 Teslas. That's factually correct, per the Hennepin County Attorney's Office. But it's a joke. No fines for the fear he instilled into Tesla owners, no compensation for the hours victims spent dealing with the repairs, The diversion program might include community service or mental health referrals, but there's zero jail time, no deserved felony record, nothing to deter this creep or really any other from repeating the actions. Poor Adams. He might have to pick up litter for a weekend. Meanwhile, victims are left with the trauma of knowing their property was targeted for political reasons. Restitution alone doesn't cut it. It's like telling a robbery victim, hey, just get your wallet back and shut the F up. This is the justice system applied to the ideologically connected, not the people. And here is where it gets infuriating. Moriarty's Tesla leniency is a neon sign blinking two-tier justice system. Let's fact check the claim. The US does have a double standard, and it's glaring. Some evidence. January 6 protesters, over 1,400 charged, many for non-violent trespassing, with some held without speedy trials. Example, Jake Lang, detained for over 3 years without a trial, facing up to 7 years for obstructing an official proceeding. You consider this due process, you Maryland Man MS-13 fans? Case 2, abortion clinic protesters. Take, for example, the 2022 case of one Paul Vaughn, a pro-lifer convicted under the FACE, the FACE Act, for peacefully praying outside a Tennessee clinic. He got 3 years, 3 supervised release and fines, while violent attacks on pro-life centers, like the 2022 firebombing of a Wisconsin clinic, saw 0 federal charges. The May 29th, 2020 riots in front of the White House. On this date, May 29th, DC protests injured 60 Secret Service agents, with rioters attempting to breach White House gates and setting fire to St. John's Church's parish house. Outcome? The Biden DOJ dropped charges against most, with only a handful facing minor penalties. Compare that to January 6th, where a waving flag got you a prison cell. Moriarty, like all the Soros DAs, is in on this game. Her division for Adams mirrors the free pass given to the 2020 Black Lives Matter Antifa rioters, while MAGA supporters get the gulag treatment. Shocking, right? The blue team protects its own, and the red team gets crushed by their boot. Now, I would bet my bottom dollar that Moriarty, a Soros-funded progressive, would have thrown the book at Adams if he were a MAGA hat-wearing vandal, especially if he had keyed up somebody who just happened to be an LGBTQ person's car. Would you like me to give you evidence? A little bit of proof? Look at Spokane, Washington. On June 5th, 2024, 3 teens, Ruslan Turco and 2 minors, were charged with felonies and hate crimes for leaving skid marks on an LGBTQ pride mural painted in the middle of the street, having driven their e-scooters over it. Felonies, hate crimes for tire marks on a public road. That is the price for wrongthink in woke land. Moriarty's track record screams bias. She's been slammed for leniency on violent crimes, for example, offering probation to a teen murderer, and now going soft on Adams, a state employee with the right politics. Soros cast fuels this nonsense, bankrolling DAs who coddle blue team criminals and crucify conservatives. It's anarcho-tyranny. The same people that, for example, in San Francisco, will ignore somebody that bashes in a car window to steal, which is why in San Francisco, many people were just leaving their car windows open to demonstrate that they have nothing inside and that they don't get smashed. Meanwhile, they will apply the full weight of the law and collect hundreds of dollars in fines to an Uber driver trying to make his money honestly for parking illegally for a couple of minutes to pick up a fare. This is not justice, it's a political hit job. This Tesla vandalism scandal isn't just about one woke DA, it's a symptom of a rotten system where justice bends to politics. No justice is blind here. Moriarty is letting a Trump-hating terrorist skate while MAGA folks get the hammer for far, far less. It's a two-tier justice system, and until such crooked and evil people face repercussions for their behavior and for their biased decision-making, they will just keep instituting what their deeply entrenched ideological programming commands them to do.